Excellent, brilliant. Great, well, I'm going to start this presentation this afternoon, and as always, our presentations are recorded, so please, if you need to leave halfway through, don't panic. You'll be sent a copy of the recording. And if you have any questions you'd like to ask as we go through the presentation, please write them in the Q&A box, and I'll be really happy to answer them at the end of the presentation. This presentation will be lasting about 20 minutes. And as I say, it is being recorded, so you're very welcome to look back at it any time, or if you do have to make a call or receive a call, then don't worry about it. So Santorini is located on the mainland in Mozambique, just north of Vilanculos. It's about a 25-minute drive north of Vilanculos Airport. And Vilanculos Airport is very accessible to Johannesburg. It's about just under an hour and a half flight from Joburg. Previously, or at the moment, but it's unfortunately changing soon, you used to be able to connect through Nelspruit to Vilanculos. SA Airlink, who run that flight, are actually unfortunately stopping it as of, I think it's January next year, but I'll actually double check and forward you on the details. And what they're doing instead is they're actually moving that flight back slightly, so that what you do instead is if you're trying to combine Kruger and Vilanculos, what you'll have to do is fly back to Johannesburg and then go from Johannesburg back to Vilanculos, which is very frustrating because obviously it worked really, really well as a joint itinerary. However, the good news is the Joburg-Vilanculos flight has been moved back, which means that if you're connecting now to Vilanculos from other Southern Africa countries, you don't have to always overnight in Johannesburg, which is major, because what we used to do before, because that flight left relatively early, I think it left about 10:15 or 11, it meant you had to actually overnight in Joburg before connecting up to Vilanculos. Now, if you are coming in from Livingston or other areas, you can actually more easily connect to that Joburg flight, allowing more accessibility within Southern Africa, but unfortunately not quite so good for that brilliant Nelspruit Vilanculos routing, which is a shame. But you can still do it in one day. It just means you have to go, effectively go backwards a bit to go forwards. But it means you end up arriving at the property probably about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening, in time for sundowner, but just a little bit more travel that's had to take place. But apart from that, it's very, very accessible. So as I say, you fly into Vilanculos Airport, and then it's a 25-minute drive north of the airport. So Vilanculos Airport is a very new, it's modern. It does have air conditioning. They weren't using it when I was there just after Easter. In fact, it was Easter weekend I was there. It was not working at that stage, but they didn't have it turned on. So it was very, very hot. But normally it's very, very efficient and very quick to get through. And then you are met by our airport representative, who will be greeting you like this with a sign. And you are then transferred up the 25-minute drive up to the property. It's a lovely drive. You drive through Vilanculos, you then end up going on a sand road. It's really lovely, and we have these open vehicles, so it's almost like an extension of your safari. There's wide open vehicles, so you can see everything all around you, which is a really great way to arrive. And then the property itself, oh, actually, before I go into that, Santorini actually has a private lounge at the airport. So if you are having to wait, normally this is used more for departures, because obviously arrival, you're met by our representative and you're then taken straight through. But when you go to check in on your return journey, you can just wait in our lounge until they're ready for check-in, and once you've checked in, you can stay here before going through to the departure gate. So it's really lovely. It's just a small little lovely air-conditioned lounge, very comfortable with drinks and beautiful furniture. So it just means that you're carrying on that Santorini vibe before you get on your flight back home. So Santorini itself is comprised of 3 different elements. We have the main villa, which is in the middle, and this is like a small boutique hotel. This is 5 rooms, and each rooms are taken out on an individual basis. You then have Villa de Praia, which you'll see on the left side of your screen. That is our 3-bedroom unit, and then you have our chapel, which is our 2-bedroom unit. And both Villa de Praia and the chapel, are both exclusive use options. Now, we do have some exciting changes happening. Villa de Praia, they are actually going to build a 4th bedroom. I'm not sure if you see my cursor, but above this room here. So at the moment, the 3rd bedroom is actually accessed externally. And so the 4th bedroom will mean that actually it's going to be much better for families who maybe don't want their 3rd child or 3rd bedroom access externally. So it's going to be much more user-friendly, I suppose, for families. But also this villa, this building you see here next to the main villa, that is currently our spa. That is our spa cleaner. That is actually going to be changed into a private, small private villa, a small individual one-bedroom villa. It's got a lovely little courtyard, and that is happening from next month. And so hopefully next time I do this presentation, I'll have some new images to show you. And of course, as soon as we have those images, we'll be sending out a newsletter anyway. The spa is actually going to move to what the area which was our Boma. It then was turned into our Paraiso, which is more of a kind of private Boma area. It's going to be more like a Zen garden, and they're going to put the villa, they're currently building, the spa as part of that offering. So the spa is moving slightly back. The villa here is then becoming, the spa is then becoming a villa, and Villa de Praia is having an extra bedroom built on it. So it's really exciting changes that are happening very soon. As I say, the Villa Nacolina, the one-bedroom villa, will be ready next month. So this is a view from the villa. So Santorini itself is, I first should probably explain where the name comes from and the inspiration. Well, as you can imagine, the inspiration is actually from Santorini in Greece. And there's a number of reasons for this. The first one is because we, like Santorini, are located on a cliff overlooking this beautiful Bazaruto archipelago. The whole style of the villa is white and blue, very much like inspired by Santorini in Greece. And it really, really works. Before I went here, I was quite kind of apprehensive. I couldn't work out how Greece was going to work in Mozambique, but it absolutely does. The blues here are just incredible. This image was actually an image that I took with my phone, so it shows you what it's actually like. And you can see here just how stunning the sea is, because it's so shallow, it's so tidal, that it has this almost electric blue to it. So the kind of design of Santorini Mozambique really echoes the surroundings, but also this area can be hit by quite extreme weather conditions, particularly in February, when it can be very rainy, and also almost it's a kind of cyclone season as well. So they wanted to build something that was very, very robust. Hence the reason why they got the inspiration from Santorini in Greece. But it really, really does work. It's utterly beautiful in terms of design. So this is down on the beach. I often get asked, well, what are the beaches like here compared to the beaches on the Bazaruto archipelago? And this is what they're like. They're still really beautiful. We have there's a village about 2 kilometers long from the beach, along the beach. And it's really lovely because you can see fishermen going backwards and forwards. When I was there, we had our last breakfast on the beach like this, and actually they were putting in a whole load of fish. So my son and I wandered up and had a chat to the fishermen, and it was great having this kind of activity happening around you. But the beach is stunning. There's cabanas on the beach, so if you want to go down during the day, you have someone there looking after you. You have a fresh water shower there as well. They have a little water sports centre, so you can take out kayaks and paddle boards. You can go swimming in the sea. We went swimming in the sea at Easter when we were there, but also this area is tidal. So when the tide goes out, it does go out quite far. I've got a question saying, what is the best period for travel? Really, it's really good all year round. The time that is probably our quietest time, or that not as premium in terms of weather, is February, kind of March time, because that is more the rainy season and sometimes can be hit by or be affected by cyclones. But apart from that, it's really good all year round. Coming up to February, it gets quite humid because obviously the moisture and the humidity is building, and then that's why they have a lot of the rains in February. But apart from that, it's pretty lovely conditions all year round. So this is the main villa, and it's centered around this almost courtyard with this main pool in it. And these big doors at the end is where, when you arrive at Santorini Mozambique, you get greeted by the staff. And then they have lots of different areas. Bearing in mind this building is only for 5 rooms. They have lots of different private areas, and they really do make the most of their different areas. So every night your dinner will be set up in a different location. This is our main lounge, the beautiful view out overlooking the archipelago. We then have a TV room, so if you've got guests who just can't stay away from the football or whatever, they can watch it. In fact, when I first went to Santorini, it was the royal wedding, of Harry and Meghan. So I actually watched it bizarrely, and it's unusually raining in April, which doesn't normally happen, and it was unbelievable back here. So it was very odd watching the royal wedding from probably the most removed place from London. This is our, it shows you how beautiful the view is from here and how elevated we are. This is our martini pool, and you can just see in the background Benguera Island and then Bazaruto just there. This is our sala dining area. So as mentioned, we always set up dining experiences in different locations. Here is a lovely big outdoor kind of lounge area, and then below that we have the sala bar. And then this is one of the little dining spots that we often set up dinner in. This is our sala bar. So this is where guests come for pre-dinner drinks every evening. And it's a lovely spot to come and watch the sunset. We also have our own cellar and bar area as well, which guests often congregate around in the evening. The kitchen, the whole style of Santorini is when you arrive, you get allocated a butler who will look after you throughout your stay. But also you're really encouraged to kind of make yourself at home. It is like a home. So this is a kitchen area where you're encouraged to go make yourself a cup of tea if you want to, or help yourself to some drinks in the fridge. And there's always snacks on offer. So it's a really, really lovely chilled experience. So although you have a butler who looks after you, you can still be very independent and not have to, every time you want a drink, ask your butler for a drink. Our gift shop has actually changed quite a bit since this photo was taken. It's actually now much larger and really beautiful. And then our rooms. So we have 5 suites in the main villa. This is our largest one. This is Santa Carolina. And then these are the other 4. So Benguera and Bazaruto are actually interconnecting. Well, they actually not interconnecting. They're down on the floor below, and they have a corridor in between them. So often we will put, maybe families with older children can go in those 2 rooms because they're slightly separate to the others. And Bazaruto has a lovely big outdoor area with a lovely big pool as well, bath as well. So these are the Benguera suites. And then the family villas, we have the chapel, which is 2-bedroom, and Villa de Praia, which is 3-bedroom. So they have their own team of staff who will look after you throughout your stay. So you have, private hosting as part of that. You have your own kitchen and bar area, so you can come make yourself a cup of tea whenever you want to. I've got a question from Sarika saying, do all the rooms have a terrace or a balcony? Yes, they do. So you can actually see, be out on the balcony and look at that lovely view. They're all floor to ceiling windows as well. So wherever you go, you just have this amazing panoramic view of the archipelago. And then the chapel is our 2-bedroom family option. So this, as I say, has its own team of staff. They have their own kitchen. This is the 2nd room. Really lovely for smaller families, big dining area, lounge area. Throughout the day, the kids are still allowed in the main villa. They can come swim in the main swimming pool if they want, but in the evening they aren't allowed. So it's much quieter in the evenings. So you do have that option of being able to have different areas you can use as well. And then Villa de Praia, our 3-bedroom villa. So this image here shows you the layout quite well. So you have the main room on the left-hand side, and then down below here where you see the double doors, that's actually the 3rd bedroom. So that you see a path coming around, that's how you access the 3rd bedroom. And then the 2nd bedroom is over here on the right-hand side. So what they are doing is they're building a 4th bedroom on top of that, the 2nd bedroom effectively. So it'll make it a 4-bedroom villa, which would be brilliant because we have a lot of guests who maybe come with, I don't know, grandparents or nannies. They tend to use, or teenage kids, they tend to use the 3rd bedroom, which is almost quite separate. But it'd be really nice to be able to have an extra bedroom where it's actually totally integrated into the main villa as well. So this is our outside dining area for Villa de Praia and lounge and pool area as well. Just beautiful, beautiful design. So Santorini Mozambique is actually owned by a lovely couple, Vanessa and Graham. She's British and he's South African, but they lived out in South Africa for many, many years. They know this area very, very well. They built the villa, and Vanessa has done all the interior design herself. So it really has, and they go up there very regularly. Heidi and Weinard, who are the general managers, have been there for about 10 years. In fact, the villa is 10 years old this year. And it has a real family feel to it because Vanessa and Graham are so hands-on. When I first met them, Graham was walking around holding a drill, putting up pictures. He actually designed and carved and made the bar stools. And as I say, Vanessa's done all the interior design. So it really is a kind of almost a family affair. And you really get that feel when you're there. The staff and the vibe of it is just very, very warm and welcoming, and it doesn't feel like a hotel. It feels like you're almost, in a home. And then this is the second bedroom, an ensuite bathroom in Villa de Praia. Then this is the third bedroom. So this is the one that is accessed slightly externally. Every guest staying at Santorini Mozambique, for every 3-night stay, they will get a complimentary island excursion. And this is a full day excursion. So they go out at 9:30 in the morning, they come back at 3:30 in the afternoon, and it is amazing. So you tend to go out and you then go snorkeling first of all to the 3 Mile Reef, which is beautiful snorkeling. And then you go to Bazaruto to see the sand dunes. You can go and see if you can find a rare dugong, Christina the rare dugong. When I was there at Easter with my son, we were very lucky because we saw Christina. And then what was really amazing is he was just swimming in the shallows and I was actually on the boat watching him. And I saw a big kind of shadow coming towards him. And he went down under the water and he literally was about 1.5 meters face to face with Christina, the dugong, which is a very, very rare experience. And it's absolutely amazing. If you go on our Small World Marketing social media, Instagram, you'll see a video of it. You'll excuse me shouting, but it was quite an exciting moment. Absolutely amazing. And Christina, they see quite regularly in that particular bay they go to. And then you have this beautiful picnic on Margarook Island, which is all set up for you. And then you can just relax. And as we were doing, swim in the shallows. But it's a full day's excursion, and that's totally complimentary. This is actually an image of the dugong tail when we were last there with some agents. This was taken by one of the agents. So it's just a really, really cool experience because, you know, Santorini, the guys at Santorini, they are aware that people come here and they want to obviously go and see the archipelago. But to have this amazing full day, it's included in your stay, is phenomenal, because if you are staying on one of the properties on the island, you have to pay for different excursions you do. So, and when you're on the island, you don't actually always, you know, you need to do an excursion to go and see different parts of the island. So it makes it much, much more cost effective. And in terms of our activities, we have a water sports centre at the properties. We have kayaks and stand-up paddle boards. We have beach volleyball. Every room has a gym basket with yoga mats. We have our beach picnic. And then our extra activities you can do horse riding, safari. So that's actually based down in Vilanculos, which is about 20 minutes away, as is kite surfing. We also have a dhow, so you can go dhow sailing and do a sunset dhow cruise. You can do deep sea fishing and scuba diving, again, both organised. The scuba diving is organised through a diving centre in Vilanculos. The fishing we can do through our team at the property. We have a spa, which, as I mentioned earlier, is being rebuilt and moved. And then obviously we have yoga mats and different boat charter packages as well. And we are about to start our scenic helicopter flights. If you are staying on the island, on the main island, you tend to get a helicopter transfer over, which is absolutely amazing because the sandbars are just so beautiful there. It's quite shallow water, so you have these amazing sandbar patterns that appear, but it's a transfer, so you don't really get to see it too long. Whereas what we're going to do is include helicopter, or you can then do helicopter flips, helicopter flights around the Bazaruto archipelago, so you get that amazing visual, aerial visual. But you can take your time. So rather than just doing it as a transfer, which is very, very cool. So these are our stand-up paddleboards and kayaks, and then the horse riding, and then kite surfing as well. And then our dhow, which we tend to do often as a sunset experience. Deep sea fishing, the guides there, the boating guides are both absolutely amazing. Scuba diving tends to be down in Vilanculos because obviously it's a dive centre that's they run. It's a very professional outfit, and it's quite hard for us to keep the dive centre going when it's just a few properties, a few rooms. Every room gets its own gym basket and yoga mat, and then we have different boats you can charter. This is Aphrodite, which is our catamaran, which is our biggest boat, and then this is our helipad from which you can fly off and do your scenic helicopter flips. We have our spa. And yes, there's lots of different activities you can do to stay whilst you're at Santorini. An average length of stay, I definitely wouldn't stay any less than 4 nights. We stayed for 3. It was over Easter and it was just too quick. One thing we really enjoyed doing also, which we haven't included in this presentation, is they had just set up their feeding program at the local school. So my son and I actually went along and saw the feeding program and helped with the feeding program. And that's only a 20-25 minute drive away from the property. So that's a really amazing experience for guests to be able to go and do as well. So why Santorini? I think the team, I think it comes from the top. It comes from the owners, who are just so lovely and are so invested and regularly at the property. And generally it feels like a family. And that is filtered down the whole way through the staff, who are just amazing. It is brilliant for families. It is malarial area, but it's the owners actually have grandchildren who are exactly the same age as my children, aged 10 to 14. So they're very used to having children at the property. They've got lots of equipment, lots of games the children can play. It's very safe in terms of swimming in the sea there as well. The all-inclusive offering, the food there is amazing. Vinard, the general manager, is a trained chef. He's a Red Inn Chateau trained chef. Whilst he doesn't actually do the cooking at the property, he oversees it. And so the standard of food is absolutely incredible. And obviously being Mozambique, a lot of seafood, they have their garden where you often have lunch in the garden. So it's lovely because you have it's like a kind of garden experience. So you actually have every single dish that you can literally sitting around the plants that have been picked to make your lunch, which was just a really, really lovely experience. Yeah, so delicious food. This is our organic vegetable gardens. That's where you can sit and have your lunch. That's Paraiso Escondido. That's the what was the old Boma, which is now where the spa is going to be added onto. So it's a lovely space in which you can just go and relax and be a bit more private. And then in terms of the environment, we have recycled flip-flops that everyone, made from recycled plastic, not recycled themselves, everyone uses when they come, and then obviously everyone gets given a glass water bottle as well. So the Santorini Footprints Initiative is part of the school that I was just talking about. They also do other initiatives as well, like beach cleanup. They work with Pat for a Purpose. So there's different activities in terms of giving back that your clients can get involved with as well. So at the moment, you do not need a visa to come into Mozambique, but what you do, which is quite confusing, is you have to pay an entry fee, and that is $12, and you have to pay it in cash. So it is quite confusing because there's been quite a lot of change recently, but we currently do not need a visa. You need an entry fee. So it has changed, and obviously if you do have any questions, just let us know, because we are in constant contact with the team at the property, and so we can get the latest update from you. These are our rates, and then we also have a single supplement, and then we also have our special offers as well, which is stay for and receive 1 night for free, and then on honeymoon offer, the partner receives 50% less on their accommodation. And then we also have a couple of combinations that work really well with Safari and Kruger property, and then also with Zimbabwe with Chulo Gorge. So we have Rock Fig Safari Lodge, and then we also have Chulo Gorge in Zimbabwe that if you book an 9-day, 8-night package, you only pay $400 for the private flight between Zimbabwe and Vilanculos, which is amazing. And then, yeah, that is the end of the presentation, but I'm just going to show you a short film to bring to life Santorini even more. So that is the end of the presentation. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. I've got a couple of questions that have come in from Poldy. Transfer time from Vilanculos, it's about a 25-minute drive, really lovely drive through Vilanculos town and then up, following the coastline up, and then you end up the last kind of 10 minutes probably on a sand road. Best time for diving? Oh, that's a good question. I actually don't know the answer to that question, and I will find out and let you know. I think it's pretty good all year round, but I will definitely find out because I actually don't know the answer to that question. Eugenia, yes, you can get the rates for the activities. They're not included. We have a really lovely menu with different rates and activities on, so I can send that all through to you, which I will send in a follow-up email, including a copy of that lovely presentation that you just lovely film you just watched as well. So do let me know if you have any questions. I'm just going to quickly check the chat. It is very beautiful and it is very stunning and it is very fabulous. So thank you for those comments. And Kathy's just got clients arriving there today. Well, I mean, generally, we always get amazing feedback from the clients. And I think it's because the team are just, it feels like a family. They're just so, so lovely. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. And the next presentation is going to be in probably in July now, because we have Experience Africa happening here in the UK the next couple of weeks. So it's a busy time, but thank you so much for joining me. And yeah, as I mentioned, I'll be following up with you all very shortly. Thank you.